Hello again, welcome to A Spot of Positivity, and as promised, today is Fabulous Food Friday. So I'm going to start by popping some buns in the oven, and hopefully by the end they will be done and you'll get to see what I've done. Okay, so I'm just going to pop these in the oven. I'm going to let you see what I've done here. Yummy buns. In the oven they go. Now, there we go. I think these will take a bit less to bake than 15 minutes. So, I'm just going to look at our time here, right? And we'll just chat for a minute and let you know how I made them. A little bit backwards today, but I thought you might like to hear and see what's happening. And by the time we're done this show, I'll be taking them out of the oven so you can see one and try it. I will post a recipe. The recipe is from Mennonite Girls Can Cook, and it's called refrigerator potato rolls. Actually, I'm going to do one other thing and show you. It's kind of one of these backwards things, but I'm going to show you what I do. Okay, so the last thing I do is put them in the oven. So we're going kind of backwards. The thing before that, I take the dough out of the refrigerator. So basically, I make the dough last night, and then in the morning, I can actually, sorry guys, look, I can't edit this, so it is what it is, right? In the morning, I take the stuff out of the oven, out of the freezer, out of the fridge, and I divide my dough in 4 pieces and put each piece in a circle. Okay, and I don't need to do any more kneading or anything like that. It's all done. I'm just going to show you this, because what happens is that it's all in circles and it's in little wedges. So, and with the wedge, I just roll it up like this. Roll it up like that, and it kind of goes into a bit of a croissant shape. And then those go in the oven. So, anyway, very, very easy to shape, because shaping breads and buns takes a while. So, this one is one of the easiest ones. They basically go into a kind of circle. Each circle gets cut into 8, and that's 8 wedges, and they get rolled up from the long part of the wedge into the pointy part. That sounds weird to you. It really, really isn't. It's just, you can't get it wrong. You start for the wide edge. It's like pretend it's a wedge of pizza. Imagine that. You're taking a wedge of pizza, you roll it towards the narrow edge, and you have a little kind of rolly thing. A little like a croissant, but not like quite as buttery and light. It's like a sort of enriched bread dough. Anyway, that goes in the oven for 15 minutes and it gets done, or slightly less than 15 minutes. So, I'll just tell you a little bit about this recipe and why I like it. It's got a bit of mashed potato in it. I just use instant mashed potato, that's what it calls for, and that kind of goes in and expands nicely and gives a really lovely fluffy texture. Everything in it is very, very basic. Like it's like eggs and butter, flour. For those of you in Europe or Britain, strong bread flour. In North America, just all-purpose flour. And a bit of sugar, a bit of salt, a bit of yeast. We've been lucky here. We've had plenty of yeast this whole lockdown time. And you need a little bit, but not very much. It's really, really easy. But I will say, the thing that really, really, really does help is that you do not add loads and loads of flour. The dough is going to be soft, and you have to be willing to be okay with that. In fact, last night, as I kneaded it, towards the end, I wet down my hands and I shaped the dough like that, because the more flour you add to this kind of dough, the harder it gets, and you really don't want hard buns. You want lovely soft buns. So resist the urge to put more and more flour in. It is lovely as it is. I'm going to read you the recipe, and I'm also going to put it on the YouTube page. Okay, so this is what's in it: 2 cups of very warm water, a 1/4 cup of instant mashed potato flakes, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1 tablespoon of salt. It sounds like a lot, but it's not. It goes right in. If you're trying to watch your salt intake, you could use a little less, but it does need some salt. A 1/2 cup butter or margarine. Sorry, I do not use margarine. I just use butter. And actually, where butter is more expensive here, I have just used vegetable oil, and it works just fine. 2 tablespoons of instant yeast. Again, I use less. I use probably about a tablespoon or even less because we're in a warm climate and it doesn't need that much yeast. It has plenty of time to rise and everything and develop. And 6½ cups flour. And basically all the warm water and the potato flakes and the sugar and salt are put together, and then you add the yeast and the flour together, but only half the flour. You mix it all in, and then you gradually add the rest of the flour. Knead it, put it in a bowl to rise overnight in the refrigerator, and then in the morning you can have fresh rolls for your family. And again, the oven, you just put it at 375, which is 190, and you let that, you shape them. First, you let them rise for about half an hour, and then you put them in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes. You watch the time, and they get ready. They're very, very, very nice. My family love them. What I do is the ones that aren't eaten right away, I throw them in the freezer because they taste so much better. I'll say it in quotes, fresh. They aren't quite fresh like this, but that's the way it works the best for me. So I will also just give you a link to the recipe on my YouTube page. It's probably the easiest thing. But those are my hints. Don't add too much flour. Don't go crazy with flour because you'll get them harder than you want. And you can also use this dough to make cinnamon buns. Now when the weather is so warm, I don't like to put my oven on in the middle of the day, so I'm doing this right away in the morning, and so that we'll have some nice hot buns in the morning, but no hot kitchen during the day. Just a kind of a practical hint. Anyway, it's delightful how things get risen in this warm climate. I'm not used to being in Cyprus. I've only been in Cyprus for 1.5 years, so it's still like new and wonderful to me. So anyway, I'm just gonna come back to you in a second when we have some lovely, 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 lovely fresh rolls. Okay, I think we're gonna have some lovely rolls to take out of our oven now, and you're gonna be delighted to see what these look like. One of my trays is ready. Ooh, ha, ha, ha. Hot rolls, let me show you. So lovely, lovely, lovely hot fresh rolls. I'm going to pour myself, okay, it's not quite a cup of tea, but it's a glass of water in my special Rosalie Positivity cup, and join you for a glass of water, aka fake pretend cup of tea. And sit down and have a lovely bun, and we'll see what our prognosis on this bun is. Still hot in a tea towel. Okay, isn't there something wonderful about making your own bread? I hope you have tried it. It is not as daunting as it sounds. It's actually a lot of fun. It's very satisfying. And we're going to try this together. Have a sip of your water or your tea. And then have a bite of hot, fresh bun. Truly fresh out of the oven. Let me show you the inside of that. I'm sure you don't want to see me chew. But anyway, fresh, hot, lovely, impeccable buns. And not because I'm talented, but because they're easy to make. And I will share the recipe with you. Okay? Until I do, it's Mennonite Girls Can Cook Refrigerator Potato Rolls. Yum, yum, yum. One more bite. Okay. Thanks for joining me on A Spot of Positivity, Fabulous Food Friday, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.